Welcome back to our 5-race F1 Classic Championship in the 2006 Renault F1 car. We have already completed rounds 1 and 2 in Monaco and Brazil, where we have finished in P3 on both occasions. And that brings us to round 3 at Silverstone. So let's get things underway. Looks like we'll be starting in P4, and it's quite a fast track around Silverstone, so we're going to go for a slightly lower drag setup. So let's build the revs up and wait for the lights to go out. Get a slightly better start than the McLaren ahead of us. Move to the inside, but we are being sandwiched, trying to avoid the Brawn, who looks like he hit the barrier on the inside of turn 1. And we maintain position through the first couple of corners in P4. Or P5 even. And try and get a good exit down onto the Wellington straight. The cars ahead have quite a good gap as we struggle for traction. Put the fuel mix back into rich, given we're carrying a bit of extra fuel, which we will struggle to burn through in the next 5 laps before the checkered flag. Through Brooklands and Luffield. Try and get a nice clean exit and stay out of the gravel, which is perilously close to the curb on the outside. Keep as far left as we can, outside wheel on the curb, hit the apex and get a good run as we approach Maggots and Beckett's on the McLaren ahead. And we get a stunning move on the outside of the McLaren through Beckett's. And we try and get a clean run down onto the hangar straight as we tuck into the slipstream of the Red Bull ahead of us. Not close enough to try and move into Stowe. One of the fastest corners on the F1 calendar. And down into the Vale chicane. Clobber the curb on the inside. Try and set ourselves up nicely to go down the Hamilton straight. Couldn't quite take turn 1 flat out with the turbulent air coming off the back of the Red Bull head. Bit of a feeble move up the inside, more try not to outbrake ourselves, but we touched the Red Bull. Luckily, tyre face to tyre face. Get slightly better traction out onto the Wellington straight this lap around, and we get a nice run on the Red Bull. And we're gonna try and stay in the clean air around the outside and tuck in again through Luffield. Try and switch back a little bit, try and get a nice clean run down the straight, down to Cox, and we get a run up the inside the Red Bull. Can we take the Ferrari in the same straight? We can, so that's 2 cars in one straight. Try and pull away through Maggots and Beckett's. A section of the track I think we are slightly faster than the cars around us. Dip a wheel onto the grass as we accelerate down the Wellington straight. Go on the hangar straight even, into Stowe. Nice clean exit. Brake as late as we can into Vale. Much cleaner this lap around, right up to the sausage curb on the exit. And a nice clean lap down the Hamilton straight.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
Set the fastest lap, so we'll try and close the gap to the leader. Make the apex this time, going through the loop. Still struggling a bit for traction, out down to the Wellington straight. Basically at half race distance now, 2.5 laps in. And we're in P2, it would be nice to win our home race. So we need to see if we can close up to the back of the car ahead. Still in rich fuel mode, plenty of fuel left. Flat out through the left and right hander of Maggots. And 2 downshifts through Beckett's and another one as we take the right hander that brings us out onto the hangar straight. Gained a lot of time through that section or sequence of corners on the car ahead of us. brake a bit later into Stowe this lap. But we missed the apex of a small lock-up there on the left front. Maximising traction down onto the pit straight again. Set the fastest lap of the race. So 2 laps to go. Can we close up on what looks like the Brawn ahead of us? Carry a lot more speed through the loop on this occasion. Again, the Brawn pulls ahead of us just on traction down onto the Wellington Straight. Carry a lot more speed through Luffield on this lap. Good traction out of the corner there, down as we approach Copse. Miss the apex of Copse with a bit of washout from the front of the dirty air from the car ahead of us. Couldn't get the move through Maggots and Beckett's. Try and set him up to go down the Hanger Straight. Tuck into a slipstream. Dummy him to the left, send one up the inside going down to Stowe, and the move's pretty much made as we get into the corner, and that's the lead taken on the penultimate lap of the race. Now we've got to try and maintain the lead going on to the final lap. So we're going to have to try and get some nice clean exits, again right up to the sausage curb. Using
this is your final lap of the race.
Onto the final lap, and he's sticking with us right behind. Flat out through turns 1 and 2, braking down into a village. Nice and tidy. This is our weak spot on the track, where the other car seems stronger than us. And is he right behind us? He's got 2, maybe 3 car lengths. So keep the braking nice and tidy through here. Don't let the car's width open up between us and the apex for him to go into. Defending the inside line nicely, and he's a bit too far back to slipstream us down into Copse. Plenty of fuel left in rich mode. Really maximising our line through Copse on this lap. Flat out again through turns 1 and 2 in Maggots and Beckett's. And I think we've got enough of a gap now to close out the lap, so we should be able to seal victory for our home race at Silverstone. Run a little bit wide through the exit of Stowe, and here we are through the last couple of corners, and out comes the checkered flag for our first win of the series.
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserved that race win.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3
So it took us 3 races, but we finally stood on the top step of the podium. And what better place than your home race? So let's have a look at the race results. And that's 10 points for us in the standings ahead of the Brawn car. And let's go and have a look at the overall standings. Now we've had 3 of the 5 races, and we are in first place on 18 points ahead of the Brawn in second place by 2 points, and that's Alex Murray. So let's hopefully maintain that gap or even extend it going into the next race. And the next race is Belgium, so we will see you for the next one.